Welcome to Herf Zone Live. I'm here every Tuesday to bring you the best content weekly. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, search for Team Shirtless Mike, and follow on Facebook at Shirtless Mike. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Shirtless Mike 2020. See what goes on in my life, and hopefully I can see what goes on in yours. Herf Zone Live is expanding. Get your product in front of hundreds of viewers every single week. Let me advertise your cigar or product to my audience. Um, DM me, let's exchange information and get you a part of the Team Shirtless Mike team. Well, how is everybody doing tonight? It is Tuesday, which is the day of Hearthstone Live, and it's been a good day, I gotta say. Wasn't overly busy at work. Lots of great customers that come in every single week, and shouts out to y'all. I have a guy that actually he travels a lot, and so he comes to our shop, and I told him to visit my friends over at Cigar Hustler, and apparently Canoe, aka Keanu, fucked up. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of shit right before this show starts here because that's what Keanu does. Keanu fucks up. So he was saying, yeah, the guy, he didn't say shirtless Mike, so that's kind of where the guy probably went wrong. But either way, he was like, Mike sent me over here. The guy's got a lot of tattoos and a podcast, and he was like, I don't know who he is, and yeah, so Mike and Mike or Mike, you need to fire Keanu, okay? Because he's bad for business. And I'm just playing. I love Keanu, good guy. So, but tonight we got a really good show lined up. Somebody who's not on every single show, somebody who showed me a lot of love in the cigar industry. But before that, he's waiting patiently from the Cigar Hustler Universe, from the Hustler Universe Podcast Network Green Room, where you'll find the Cigar Hustlers podcast and the Chet and Palmer Shit Show. Welcome to Herf Zone Live, TK from Black Smoke Nation. They're just a whole umbrella.
What's going on, everyone? I
Man,
certainly appreciate the interview. Thanks for having me on.
Man, no problem, man. It's I don't see you on a bunch of other people's shows, and I like to interview people that are not on a bunch of shows, because I mean you're busy producing your own stuff and what you do. So I appreciate the opportunity to have you on and to kind of to catch up and all that. So what has been going on today? How's your day been today?
My day's been productive. Thank you. Daddy duties. I love my daddy duties. So I took care of that today, and now it's distribution work duties. So I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting ready to start a new cigar. I got the Charter Oak Maduro and Habano. Which one do you think I should smoke tonight before we get this thing started?
Maduro.
Maduro. Gotcha. We're gonna smoke that. And are you smoking anything tonight, bro?
TK.
Yes, sir. I mean, you gotta, if you got your own cigar, man, that's you gotta represent to the fullest. So that's what it's all about. But you've been a busy man, since the last time I seen you, we see each other from time to time at different events. And the very first time I met you was when I actually came to Miami for the first time for like my 29th birthday. And you showed a lot of love. You took us on the TK tour, and that was a lot of fun. So it's good to you got a lot of experience in the industry. So we're gonna get your story out there, and so that people can know who TK is and all that. So first of all, you're a Florida native, right?
I'm a Miami native.
Miami native. Miami is different from just Florida. Miami's
That's right.
separate from Florida.
Absolutely. Very close to Florida.
Absolutely. So tell us about your early years and growing up in South Florida, Miami area. Just like what it was like for you growing up, your family and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, I think anyone can agree with me. Those years were better years than the years that we're living today. And we live in uncertainty. We live in very turbulent times. Back in the day, we had different blood pressure levels. We knew what was coming, and we knew that we had to get prepared for it. Today's day and age, you don't know what the hell is about to happen. You don't know what's coming your way. This this is definitely a different generation than from ours altogether. So yeah, I lived a good generation. Yeah, I lived the ice cream trucks, the good candies. You know what I mean? With a lot of sugar, I miss the jungle punch, the real jungle punch. You know what I mean? Make
Yep.
everything, make everything red. You know what I mean? The real juices. Today's generation, today's youth will never be able to understand or experience the greatness that we grew up in, and not to mention the sensitivity level. Damn sensitive today. If you look at some of our shows and some of the old comedians that we grew up listening to and watching, they said what was on their mind, and now you have this bullshit cancer culture, whatever the hell they call themselves, because they're so damn sensitive. So this generation, man, I feel for y'all. Damn. I'm just, so to answer your question, I didn't grow up in this generation, so I had a good upbringing.
Most definitely. I think my generation, I'm 33, so I think my generation was like that last good generation where, we brought up old school values, going outside, eating frozen, different places called, frozen cups. We call them frozen cups, but some people call them coochie cups, whatever. There's all kinds of different names for 'em, like, stuff like that. And, drinking out of the water hose during the summertime and all that. So,
You are
you
definitely
can't.
Mohicans.
Yeah, most definitely that, 89 baby. So, we had all the last of the good shit, and after that went downhill. So, but you attended Florida Memorial University. You got your master's in education. What inspired you to go that route with your education?
Oh man, I always wanted to be higher in knowledge, as far as from a book standpoint, because you don't need to be knowledgeable just through a book alone. There's all types of conventional wisdom that'll take you to those heights. But grad school was definitely a goal of mine. Also, my doctoral degree is was also a goal of mine, which I did get accepted into Nova Southeast University. I studied conflict resolution and analysis. I'm in the DCAR program there, and I mean, just that higher level of formal education was. I mean, I enjoyed it. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about the community because my studies once again was industrial organization with a focus of business. So understanding people in business environments. So that whole education around that, how do people function in environment, was very important because even in the employment workplace today, how people function around you, what they say, what they do, their morale, their energy can destroy or take a business to the next level. So all that was intriguing to me. So I just kept going at
Most definitely. And you're a Mason as well. What brought you into Masonry, and how has it impacted your life?
it. Yeah,
I mean, and talk
questions.
about what you can talk about. I know there's a lot of stuff that you can't, but
I was
cigar
brought
culture is filled with that.
I was brought into the order by a mentor of mine, Pierre Rutledge. So thank you, Pierre Rutledge, for believing in me and allowing me to join this strategic organization. And it has truly benefited me from the knowledge I received because I was able to interpret the knowledge in my own optic lens. That's the beauty about it. Once you get the information, it is now up to you to digest it and interpret it best fit for you. So I took my information. Just because someone had the same information that I may have doesn't mean that we interpret it the same way.
Yeah.
It's no different than us smoking a cigar. Just because I have a cigar, they have a cigar, you and I could be smoking it a different way. They could be smoking it a different way. So my information with that, I just took it and used it for my benefit, and it really worked out.
Most definitely. Now I was, research as I was researching, I came across some Masonic books. Was that that wrote some books, based on that, because it could be somebody of the same name, so
That I did that.
Okay.
I did that. It was the Achilles Proficiency Guide. I've done some other leadership literature for the order as well. Yeah, I've done a lot. I've lived several lives.
Yeah, most definitely. We're just getting the beginning here because we got so much more. So, um, when we hung out before, you told me about how you got into cigars, through David Smith from High Roller Cigars. But give the viewers the whole story on how you initially got into smoking cigars. Just that intro. The good, bad, the ugly.
Well, I tell you, my first experience was with my best friend Alonzo Ellis. Alonzo Ellis, he gave me my first cigar. He used to smoke we're roommates, and he would smoke in the backyard every day after work. I'm like, my guy, do me a favor, take that shit down the street. Nobody wants to smell that. I don't want to be around it. And he's like, one day, he mentioned one day you're going to smoke a cigar. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I finally gave in. Took me to a cigar shop. Took me to Sticks in Dania, Florida. Took me to Sticks Cigar Lounge, which is still there. And this was almost 13 years ago. Took me there, gave my first cigar, which was this Connecticut, the mildest house blend you can imagine. Gave it to me. And my first puff, I was like, dude, this shit's amazing. I can't believe that this is what I've been missing out on. He's like, you see, this is what I told you. You're going to smoke a cigar. The next day, I dropped $1,000 at the register. And I was like, just give me $1,000 worth of cigars. Like, I don't care what it is. I didn't know. I was a rookie of all rookies. And I put $1,000 on the register, and I'm like, let's go. And I was hooked ever since, man. I mean, I just ran with it, took off with it, and started applying my formal education to it in regards to the doctorate education, the grad school education, with the psychology of breaking down the profile, breaking down the history, asking questions about the history. I got more intrigued when I found out that the history was actually a great part of Miami. It started like right here.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Then I really, really took off with that. Once I found out that the history of Miami connected to the industry, done.
Yeah, and initially, you start. I guess you started off with Stogie TV. It might have been something else. So I'm just, just based on the research, to see how good I did. But, like initially, before you even decided to start Stogie TV, like, were you big on, doing filming and editing and stuff like that, being a videographer and all that? Like, how did you initially get to being a videographer, and then take us into starting Stogie TV?
Well, Stogie TV, I'll go backwards. Stogie TV was a concept. I thought it was pretty cool that there was other lounges and nobody knew about these lounges. So I was like, let me grab my camera, my little cell phone, little camera I had, little bullshit. And I'm like, let me go ahead and start filming these lounges. And no one was doing it. I called it Stogie TV. So come to find out that as soon as I put on YouTube, people are actually intrigued about me traveling. And it's like man versus food, but in the cigar world.
Yeah.
I did have a camera crew, very, very expensive. So I had to learn how to go do the shit myself.
Yeah.
So I got the camera crew and I learned how to film on YouTube University, right?
Okay.
Next thing you know, I knew cameras to purchase, I knew which equipment to get, and not even knowing it, the Stogie TV platform launched my film company. So I do own a film production company, and that's what prompted me to do the filming in Nicaragua and the other major icons in the cigar industry. When I did those documentaries on them, yeah, people ask me, hey, who taught you how to film? Man, your quality is amazing. You got drones, you got this. I taught YouTube University. I taught myself all of that.
Yeah, because I thought you were like into that prior to even doing Stogie TV, so that's pretty interesting there.
Yeah, had no clue what the hell I was doing. Burning a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how it goes, you know. So, I mean, I just do my show and I just do it live. I started off just making like regular video. I didn't even edit nothing. I just had used the computer that I had, but then, now YouTube's starting to crack down on cigar related stuff, but they're not touching like, live streams like this. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna continue on with the show, and now I got it on YouTube, Facebook, so it's easily accessible, wherever people are at. So it's definitely a lot of work for sure to just make regular videos that's not like in this format. So but how long like did Stogie TV take to like catch on? Like, what is it, an immediate thing? Like, you just started seeing like the numbers?
It took about a year.
Okay.
Took about a year. Once people saw that I was really in the face of some of these major icons, I mean, immediately I had every major icon you could think of, I had in front of that camera. Fuente, Padron, Avo, Rocky, all of the big boys, Jonathan. I had all the big boys in front of my camera within the first year, especially when I went to IPCPR 2015. I was ripping. I mean, I was interviewing everyone. I was like blown away. To me, it was like being on Mount Olympus. I'm surrounded by all of these cigar gods. And
Yeah.
like people like, yo, you got some hardcore content. Like you got some major players on this show of yours. I was like, hey, I'm just doing what I love. And boom, it took off. It really did. It really
Yeah.
did. It was almost damn near 500,000 views. Like it
Oh
really
yeah.
took off.
Yeah, I remember when I first discovered Stogie TV. It was like in I guess it's 2016 or whatever, and I just started, the way that it is, you can sit there and watch it like a regular TV show. And then
Yeah,
I just, I was watching, I was helping out my dad out in Seattle, and I was watching it and everything, and then he had a big screen TV, so I would just pull it up on the big screen TV and just sit there and like, man, this guy's on to something. And then my younger brother, who was very anti-tobacco at the time, he was like 16. He started getting on your channel under one of his troll profiles. I went and apologized to you, but
I remember that.
that was wild. So you're in Miami. Like, were you starting to get these relationships with major manufacturers prior to Stogie TV, or was just happen as you were in the process, hitting the IPCPR and different events like that?
It was in the process. I didn't know them like that. I didn't know AJ like that, Padron, Fifteen. I didn't know them like that. I knew of them. I just didn't know them like that. And the Stogie TV platform opened those doors for me to meet these individuals. And when I got to IPCPR, it was boom, hey, we're ready for your interview. Hey, come and interview us over here. Hey, come interview us over here. And I was literally the only one at that time doing it, like
Yeah.
interviewing for like that. And I mean, I was interviewing during IPCPR, outside of IPCPR, in the streets. It turned into a full-fledged reality show. Here I am in Vegas running the street. Oh, sorry, it was New Orleans, running the streets. And people were like, yo, this is pretty dope. How you doing this? I'm showing people how I eat. I'm on Bourbon Street getting fucked up. People wanted to see that. So it turned into a nice reality show.
Most definitely. Now, one of I guess it was your first documentary. Now, you went to Nicaragua. And you had, you did the at the AJ Fernandez farm, and like that was incredible. Like, you showed just how dedicated to tobacco that AJ was. Like, you guys were out in the field. The truck had a flat tire. He was even worried about that shit. He was sitting there, measuring the levels in the soil and of the tobacco while his people changed the tire. And tell us about your experience. Like, was that your first time going to Nicaragua?
Man, my first time in Nicaragua, I was like a damn kid, man.
Oh,
I
okay.
lost.
So you had been before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. My first time was with meeting AJ when the AJ team brought me over there. Man, I'm on the plane. Like, is this shit really happening? You know what I mean? And when I landed, AJ picked me up at the airport. He met me. He was right there. Boom, picked me up at the airport. I'm blown away. Like, whoa. Then we get to the compound, the factory, the facilities itself with all the rollers, the process. You see everything from the field to the shade grown to the sun grown. Blown, man, blown away. Still to this day. I mean, just chills, man. You get just reminiscing about that. And I was able to take that experience and share it with others and provide a cigar tour. And AJ afforded me that opportunity to do a cigar tour where now I can bring Americans over there and experience the same thing that I experienced. So that's a beautiful, beautiful seed that was planted. And now I have an international travel company that provides cigar tours for Americans in Nicaragua via the AJ Fernandez facilities.
Awesome. We're going to talk some more about that because, you got so much stuff going on. We're just, getting to the nuts and bolts of things here. But you did what is the last documentary, the last interview, at least as far as I know, with Jose Orlando Padron. And that was incredible. Like, you captured the story and all that. And, you were showing because Padron, they don't have reps. So people just see Padron as like a high up cigar that they're just like, we do things how we do it. But you're showing them as human beings. Like, how did you get hooked up with that situation and, meeting Jose Orlando Padron, with the whole Padron family? And, what was it like, doing this documentary about, their story?
Man, the Padron family is the patriarch family to me. They're the ones who set the bar, if you ask me, in regards to the industry. They set the bar high. And it wasn't by choice. It was by experience. The old man, his whole entire story was survival.
Mm-hmm.
His whole entire story, strictly survival. Growth, survival. Growth, survival. He didn't quit. And that's what intrigued me so much, especially when I was speaking with some of the members of the family. And I said, I have to do this feature. I have to do this documentary on this man. I don't even want to call him a man. I call him God. Right? He's a cigar God in my eyes. We're talking about the old man Padron. And when I approached the family with it, family was looking at me like, we've seen you before. Yeah, you're the guy that runs around the camera and you interview people in shops. I was like, yeah, I'm that guy, and I'm here to interview, if possible, the legend. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't do those anymore. He's up in age. He doesn't do those anymore. I said, man. And this was when I went to the headquarters right here in Miami.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to do this. I really do. And I'll wait. If I have to wait, I will wait. I said, all right. So he was sleeping in the back. Rightfully so. He's Padron. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He was sleeping 4 hours. I waited in that lobby 4 hours. I was determined. Not to mention that the family provided me with some 1964 Padrons in the meanwhile. So I was good. You know what I mean? I had a little cafetera across the street, so I was really good. So Lord and behold, the man woke up, came out in his wheelchair, the mechanical wheelchair, fast as shit. I mean, dude. Yeah. But man, the biggest smile on his face, and was immediately showed love. And like immediately. I mean, hug, kiss on the cheek, and I'm blown away at this point, man. It was like meeting God. You know what I mean? Like not Jesus, but God himself. Yeah. I was choked up and everything because you see in person what you read about, this person who has struggled and struggled and struggled, but never gave up, I mean, internationally, the shit that this family went through. I mean, for your family to get bombed 4 times, Jesus Christ, man.
And to
And you
show
still
you
surviving?
where that it was bombed, the areas in the area where it was bombed too. Like,
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I got chills when he was like, yeah, we got bombed here, we got bombed here, we got bombed here. I'm sitting like, what? It was truly amazing. It really was. Brought chills up my spine. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you survived the bombing. Let somebody get bombed today. They ain't never coming back.
yeah,
They're like, I'm good. We're out. We're moving. No, these people stood their ground. Going back to what we talked about earlier about different generations, they stood their ground. They were not giving up. They fought the good fight. And look at the benefit. The benefit was for the legacy. It wasn't for Orlando Padron to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He enjoyed seeing his family enjoy the fruits of his labor. That right there alone sets the tone of respect for someone like that.
absolutely. Now, what are some of your favorite lounges that you have featured on Stogie TV? You've been to a bunch of them, but I know you got to have, a favorite or a couple of favorites.
Oh wow, favorite cigar lounge. Ooh, I'll tell you which one blew me away. My man Sam up in Chicago, Monte Cristo Lounge.
Yeah, that
A
one
big,
was dope.
yeah, yeah. When you go downstairs, first of all, when you walk in, I thought that was massive and crazy in itself. And then he was like, "All right, this is the VIP section." And I was like, "All right, so this is the VIP section." And they said, "Now we're going to go down to super VIP." I'm like, "What? Super VIP?" Like, you go downstairs in the elevator, and it's like this beautiful private lounge. I mean, you've seen it. It was
Yep.
just beautiful, man. And that blew me away. But then again, what also blew me away was some of the older lounges that said, "No, we're not changing. No, we're going to stay the way we are. We're going to be cigar. We're going to sell cigars." And one of those lounges was that I respected so much. I got to give a big shout out to my man Stogie up in Baltimore, who introduced me to this lounge called Cross Street Tobacco. Cross Street Tobacco in downtown Baltimore, over by the Inner Harbor. Old school, man. Vintage. Floors are cracking, doors are cracking. I mean, vintage, hardcore smokers go there. And I sat there outside, 2 chairs. That's it. You can only fit maybe about 6 people inside, maybe. Hardcore smokers. I sat outside for 8 hours, smoking my head off. And people in town was like, "Hey, are you coming over here?" Going, I was like, "Nah, I found my spot. I'm good. I got a coffee shop. I got my cigars. I got a vintage lounge that's about strictly old school vibes. 8 hours. I didn't go nowhere." So lounges like that impressed me because they didn't conform. They stayed.
Yeah,
They're like, no, we're not going to conform to what society wants us to be. Now we're going to stay as we are. We're an old school vintage shop in an old school city, and this is the way we're going to be. I respected that. So lounges like that, from the small ones to the big ones to the ones with the elevators to the ones with crackling doors, those are the ones that I love.
absolutely. Before we go on, I gotta take a little short break. Shout out my sponsor. So, Herf Zone Live is sponsored by Nomos Cigars, rated 91 in Cigars and Spirits magazine. Nomos is a full body 6x56 cigar that features a rich, full flavor accomplished with our high quality construction and exclusive aging process. Once the fine cigar is born, it immediately begins our exclusive Nomos Aging Process nap. While each cigar naps, it continues to develop its unique aroma and flavor that sets itself apart from any other cigar the world over. It is a delicious medium smoke resulting from the finely aged Cameroon wrapper and blend of 8-year-old seco Dominican filler and 5-year-old Nicaraguan criollo filler. The Indonesian Sumatra binder finishes the cigar ingredients with the finest quality tobacco available. This exclusive blend provides a beautiful smoke right down to the last nub. Check out nomoscigars.com for info on where to find retailers that carry Nomos cigars. Orders are also available on their website. Also follow them on Instagram at Nomos Cigars. All right. Appreciate my sponsors. So Describe the impact that Stogie TV has made within the cigar industry as a whole.
Oh, oh. Man. Wow, that's gonna be hard. Because Stogie TV created so much as far as exposure for others who didn't know about these other lounges and other activities that were going on in the cigar world. Stogie TV grew into what is Black Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And because of Black Smoke, now there's this massive movement throughout the United States of different festivals going on, what they call them cigar weeks. So Stogie TV rooted all of that. And I was the first one to launch an entire week of cigar festivals, events, rather. And I took the leap of faith in 2016, launching in 2017. So now, all over the United States, you see all types of cigar weeks and festivals, more so in the minority communities and the Black communities, because Black Smoke, which was born from Stogie TV. So to answer your question, the impact, it's major. It's major for sure. But I did it for a reason, and to see that the world is now more engaged in the world of cigars more than ever. More than ever. I mean, within the last 10 years, more than ever. The last 5 years, what I call a super boom, in the industry and in the culture. Not a boom, a super boom. And to see these festivals, these activities, now there's more bloggers, now there's more video. Like I said, I've done mine. You know, I laid down the ground, I laid down the foundation, because TK is not getting any younger. You know, these grays mean something.
Yep.
Okay, so there's going to be another TK. There's going to be another platform. There's going to be this. So I just hope that those who are engaging in the world of cigars can see and appreciate the value of what I did bring to the table and what I did lay as a foundation. And I got those seeds from those before me. See what I'm saying? I got those seeds from my foundation from others who provided me with the seeds as well, because I wasn't the first to do so in the industry to provide a platform for growth. It's been going on for eons. I just decided to do something different with those seeds that they gave me. But best believe the icons such as the Padrones provided me with those seeds for growth.
Absolutely. And before I get into the next topic, I wrote the article about, it was basically about the resurgence of Black cigar smokers. Upon researching for that, which my interview skills were terrible at that time. I remember calling you, and I was like, I didn't have anything really prepared. I was trying to think off the top of my head, and but I talked to a bunch of people, and even since then, like, there's been so many changes. You're right about the whole super boom thing, because I don't even think that you can even write a single article about like the whole movement as a whole, and like the Black cigar community. And me, I'm always a token white dude even before I got into cigars. So I got a large Black following and all that. And so I not a lot of other media members are giving that type of shine. You're creating your own media platforms, with Black Smoke Magazine, and which you got Stogie TV, which we'll get more into Black Smoke Magazine. But I mean, you're absolutely right about that super boom. It's even since a few years ago when I wrote that article, like, there was so many people coming out of the woodwork when I wrote that article. They were like, "Oh, why didn't you mention that?" I was just seeing I was putting what I was seeing, and just trying to put a highlight on things. I wasn't trying to like miss anybody, but I mean, it's crazy. It's something to be proud of for sure. So, while still doing Stogie TV, the next evolution comes about, talked a little bit about this already, but which is Black Smoke Miami. Where did you get the concept of Black Smoke, and how has it grown over the years?
I got the concept of Black Smoke when I realized at the trade show, there wasn't many of us there. In fact, there was myself, Cigar Mike, Sean Williams, like literally, Christine, LSF. You can literally count us on your hands, on one hand, at the trade show. So I realized there was a lot of activity in the Black community going on, but there wasn't a platform for them to be recognized, nor for them to have any visuals on them.
Yeah.
So I created Black Smoke for the sole purpose of providing a visual opportunity for those Blacks who were doing great things in the industry, but didn't have a platform to be showcased on. So I created.
Awesome. Now, outside of the Black Smoke Miami event, you have an entire umbrella of brands, underneath Black Smoke Nation, including a cigar lounge that you just opened called Black Smoke Social, and now Black Smoke Magazine. You know, I mean, there's so many. I can't even. I'll let you, because you're the one that does. So just explain each different segment underneath the Black Smoke Nation umbrella and the concept of each segment.
All right. So absolutely, Black Smoke Nation is the umbrella for all of the companies. So Black Smoke Miami, which is the annual festival. Black Smoke Magazine, which is the first Black-owned cigar magazine in the industry. And we have Black Smoke Social, which is my private lounge for my members here, friends and family here in Miami. Then I have Black Smoke Blends, where I literally sell tobacco through my online store. I have Black Smoke Creations, where I blend and create boxes and blends for companies out there for different brands. What else do I have? Black Smoke Distribution. So Black Smoke Distribution is, literally I distribute tobacco for those brands who may not have the ability to provide fulfillment services. So I take on that weight off their, I take that weight off of their shoulders, and I provide fulfillment through the distribution and manufacturing. Then there's Black Smoke TV, which is new reality TV show that's coming out. What else I got on there? Black Smoke Forever, my new clothing line that's going to be launched during Black Smoke next year. Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, one of the most recent things is, is your lounge. Like, tell us about like the process. Not only you got all that going on, but you're now a lounge owner, and tell us about that process of opening it up, and what can people expect when they walk through those doors and to come and hang out and smoke with you.
Oh, it's brutal. It was brutal. I tell you that. Anyone who wants to open up a lounge, call TK. I will give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the fucked up. It is brutal trying to open up a lounge. I don't care how big, how small. There's some bullshit that you got to go through to sell a cigar. My God, shit that I had to go through, man. Like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the fucked up. But nevertheless, I'm here. In regards to the lounge, what they can expect is, one, they need to understand that the lounge is not open to the public like that. The lounge is not open to the public. I have a responsibility to protect energy, and more importantly, my energy. So I can't allow some just random people just to walk in here when I have my personal friends and family in here who are trying to avoid or get away from everyday life bullshit. So my lounge is definitely for my friends and family, just like any of the lounges that we've been to, these manufacturers have in their facilities. It's a private lounge. Now, of course, you give me a call, hey, TK, we're in town, we're coming through the lounge. Of course, sure, let's Mike, come on. Come through the lounge, come through, come have a good time, and that's what it's for. So it is a lounge for sure. I mean, pool table, my filming area behind me, I got a whole wall of cigars, a whole wall of distribution that I do. But this is truly a friend and family private situation. I did the public thing, it gave me a headache. It really did. You have to watch out for people's intentions.
Yep.
People's intentions are not always pure. And I don't want anyone coming through my gate without pure intention. So I have to monitor. I got to filter who can come through that gate with pure positive intentions. Because just like we started a long time ago to smoke a cigar, we wanted to smoke a cigar because of the peace factor that came with it, not the drama factor, the peace factor that came with it. And that's what I maintain here.
Awesome. Now, when you say it's a private lounge, is it like, like a membership as far as, you pay a fee for the year type thing? Or is it just, like explain more about that?
It's both. It's both. And just because someone wants to become a member doesn't mean I'm going to let them become a member. It doesn't work that way. Listen, if I don't like you, I don't like you. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I don't want you near here, I don't want you near here. But for those who I do embrace and vice versa, of course, I want you in here. So yes, there is some benefits for the members. One, having access. The truth be
Yeah.
told, having access to where they can come and truly be themselves and get away from the bullshit that society lingers on every goddamn day. You
Hmm.
need to connect. So that alone, that alone is a benefit in itself to be able to find it somewhere because it's hard to find that nowadays. It's truly hard to find a disconnect nowadays where you can truly just be you in this
Hmm.
world of sensitivity, this world of drama, in this world of hatred, in this world of turbulence that we live in. Where can you just disconnect and be you? Breathe for a little bit. You know what I mean? You need to breathe. There's a lot going on in our lives. So, yes, there are benefits, but the number one benefit is peace. Peace of mind is the number one benefit of my lounge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I work at a cigar lounge, and pretty much all the people that walk through those doors are all decent people. They don't bring drama, but then there's sometimes you just get that aggravating person every so often. So that's definitely a cool concept. You keep it private, and you don't got to worry about the aggravating ass people that you don't you just wish people that's trying to haggle for a $2 cigar. That's why we don't sell $2 cigars at the shop I work at. Because we don't. It brings down the value of the rest of the inventory. So
I agree. I agree.
and and plus, those people ain't trying to spend like that anyway. So, like, do you have what brands do you currently carry at your lounge?
Well, for the most part, this is the AJ Lounge. Thank you to the AJ Fernandez family, both American-based and Nicaraguan-based teams for believing in the vision. So when you do come into the lounge, you will see, like right behind, like right, there it is, right there. There's a display, a lighted display that AJ provided me with, and it's literally wrapped around the cigar lounge. It's all AJ. So yes, I do carry. The majority of it is AJ products.
Okay, cool. Now, do you got like it's like bring your own beer? You got like a bartender there, or you just pretty much keep.
BYOB, BYOB. Unless I'm doing a private event, everybody's a bartender.
Heck yeah,
Hey, get your own ice, get your own cups, and pour your own troubles. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I mean that's dope. Because if you don't, with having a liquor license, first of all, it's expensive. But if you don't have like beer and wine, if you got a private establishment, you can have BYOB. So that's the cool part about living in Florida, because the shop that I work at, we've been, the liquor license, we don't have a liquor license, but we found a way around that. We use like wine based liquor, and it's not the same. They taste good when you make a drink with it, but you can't just sit there and drink the whiskey straight up. It tastes like a muted version of what it's supposed to be. Because I was talking with somebody one day when I was behind the bar and at work during the day, and I made a smoky old fashioned for somebody, and I tasted, I took a shot of it because I'm like, hell, my boss don't care as long as I'm not getting trashed at work type thing, and and it just tasted like the muted version of what it's supposed to be. I'm like, yeah, stick to keeping these for mixed drinks because it's not good. So we
Yeah,
just got.
definitely. Yeah, let
Oh,
the
go
people.
ahead. Oh, I thought I had interrupted you. Sorry.
No, 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 no. You good.
It's just the cutout, the the Bluetooth sometimes cuts out, so I just don't want to interrupt or anything. But just got a few more questions here, and we'll get on after this. I keep it about an hour under. So what has been, or well, actually, I got three more. So what are your goals with Black Smoke as a whole?
My goal for Black Smoke. The goal for Black Smoke is to preserve and protect the industry. Preserve and protect the industry. And the way I'm going to do that is to provide a quality event focused on the cigar experience. Nothing else. Nothing else outside of that. Miami is cigar culture. So I like to bring my attendees to the culture. I like to bring the culture to my attendees with that focus. So there's a strong focus of how do I get the culture in the hands, in the eye, in front of the eyes of my attendees. And that's what it's about. Providing an environment where you protect and preserve the culture by showcasing the culture. So that's my goal.
Absolutely. Sounds like an awesome goal. So we talked a little bit about this, but I have this question down, maybe you can expand on it more. So what has been the biggest impact of the Black Smoke brand, just everything that you got going on the movement of Black cigar smokers in the cigar community?
Ooh, what has been the biggest impact on Black Smoke? The biggest impact is you now have all of these weeks. I look at the domino effect. Black Smoke has created a monster, and it is what it is. Can no one take that away? Black Smoke was the first Black-owned cigar week festival, 5 days, and now no matter what city you go to, they all got a 5 day festival going on, and I get a lot of credit for fighting the platform to do so, or the blueprint. Some people stuck with it, some people did it. But it's good to see that those who did it, the culture's grown. So the impact is, I mean, I've been told good and bad. I've been told that I'm responsible for segregation, that now there's a Black cigar culture and there's a Hispanic cigar culture, and I'm the reason that it is what it is. I'm like, whoa,
Sure,
time out.
I didn't see plenty of when I came for that party one time for one of the I couldn't make the whole weekend, but I came. I seen some white folks there, not just me and Boston Jimmy. I seen some more white folks out there,
Exactly.
white
It's like
folks with some soul.
the
That
impact that so you just whatever comes with the good, you get it, you get the bad as well, right? So I mean, I got to take the good with the bad, but the fact that there was motivation that wow, there's a Black man doing all of this in the start industry, that's going to encourage me to move forward with my project back home, whatever that project may have been, whether it's a podcast, mobile cigar lounge, physical cigar lounge, brick and mortar, online store, shirt product, accessory product. If seeing me in action is motivation for that individual to go and do something that they always wanted to do in the cigar industry, but they just needed that little push, that little motivation, that little inspiration. Then if Black Smoke was responsible for that, then I just have to be a humble thank you for that. It's a humble thank you. It is what it is. I just sit back and say like, wow, I'm just doing my job. Like I did my job is to motivate and inspire people to follow your dream. Follow your dream.
absolutely. Now you kind of brought up the comment, which is going to be like the last topic before we kind of end out the show, but. You say, there's been naysayers in the past talking about like what you do is promoting segregation, which I don't see because I see nothing, I see all walks of life at these events, like what what do you say about that? Like, obviously you don't pay attention to what they got to say, you don't need to address people, but I mean, like, has that criticism, like, as time went on, has that kind of stopped or, like it was in the beginning or, You know, like how has that progressed? You know, since those naysayers, you know, used to, you know, make those type of comments.
I mean, naysayers are bored. Naysayers don't own shit. Naysayers ain't got shit. I mean, that's the only reason they come in. They say something about it, and they improve. They ain't got shit. Um, Now, if they were on the team, then you'll see a different perspective. You'll hear a different perspective. But most naysayers, and this goes out for anyone who has naysayers, anybody who has haters, if you would. It is what it is. They're going to hate you. If you look at anyone great through the history of time, there was always naysayers in every great historic icon that was out there, or any great person doing great things for the community. I don't care how good you think you're doing. I don't care how great your intentions are. There's going to be someone out there that's going to be filled with jealousy, vanity, and greed, if not all three. Why? Who knows? It's the nature of the beast. It's the law of nature. It is what it is. And when you address that person, when you approach that person, and you say, "Hey, why are you hating on me? What's your problem? Did I do something to you?" You'll be surprised that those people who are hating, they're hurt inside. They're hurt on some other shit. Something happened in their life. They're just hurt, and they just hurt people. Just want to hurt people. I mean, I dealt with all types of bullshit. I dealt with scammers in this industry. Unfortunately, yes, there's scammers in this industry. I dealt with frauds in this industry. Yes, there are frauds in this industry. But for the most part, I've dealt with a lot of great people, a lot of great people. And those great people, they remain great. But once again, you get the good with the bad, the naysayers, and those individuals who, and it's just not white. I mean, I get white, Spanish, black across the board. Just because I did the black smoke, that doesn't mean that all blacks are automatically going to support this event. That's just not the nature of the situation. It's going to have, you're going to have some haters, people of the same color. They're going to hate you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk behind your back. They're going to shake your hand right in front of you and still talk shit. It is what it is. It's life, and it's vanity, if you ask me. Vanity. I've seen vanity do some horrible things to some people, and I've seen cigars do some great things for some great people. So that's what I like to focus on: is the great people that are out there, the amount of great people that are out there that frequent your lounge, the amount of great people that frequent this podcast that you have provided us with. There's a lot of great people all around us, and that's where the impact is. That's the greatest impact right now. How to make us greater. That's what it is. How to make the cigar experience greater. Let's focus on the greater good of the experience of the cigar, because there will be good and there will be bad, no matter what industry you're in. But for the cigar industry, my goal is to preserve and to protect, and the only way to do that is to focus on the greater good.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about the good, you know, because all the frauds and fakes and all that type of stuff, those type of people get exposed and they don't last very long, you know. So that's all you can do is just be a real person, you know, straight up. Now, I did think of something else here. So, you know, not only, you know, on your YouTube channel, you know, and just like you put out different videos about, you know, like stuff, you know, advice about, you know, growing your cigar brand, you know, just growing your brand in general, like whether it's a clothing company, etc. Does that fall under like the cigar educated umbrella?
Ah, yes, cigar educated. There it is. That is more of a Ask TK platform. It's a platform I created where people get to ask me questions about business and cigar related items. Those are just straight up answers. Whereas the tutorials on cigar education are full out, follow my lead, follow these instructions for this overall goal. So that's what that does. But the Ask TK, yes, it does fall under the cigar education platform. Yes, it does, because it is a form of education. It's just a quick form of education versus the long theoretic process of those who want to. For example, I have this one class on cigareducated.com, which is how secrets of a successful lounge, which is pretty much the techniques that take place within that lounge, customer service, having great employees like yourself, having great team members like yourself, having great contributors like yourself. A part of that lounge experience makes that individual come back and come back and come back. So that requires a process. Whereas when someone asks me a general question on Ask TK, I just answer it to the best of my ability, and that's a real quick shot platform.
Yeah, most definitely. Because that was one thing I forgot to bring up. So I figure as you were just talking, I was like, I forgot to bring up like cigar educated, because I got, when I was still with Stogie Press, I got to, do the course and everything. And, me and Boston Jimmy talked about it. We did some press on it and everything. So, like, how's that going? Like, I know it's like it starts from like seed to everything involved with the process to, owning a cigar lounge and all that. Like, how has that grown over time? And, like, what's the people's response been on that?
Um, I, it is a lot. It is a lot. You're right. There is everything from seed to cigar, everything from understanding the process, which I do break down, even with the banner that you see behind me. You see it? There we go.
Yeah.
Where I break down the tobacco plant. That's actually a diagram of a tobacco plant, the fillers, binders, and wrappers. I break everything down. So yes, that platform is dedicated to that and has done a lot. It has helped a lot of individuals who wanted to know more and wanted to see a person of color explain it to them. And they didn't want to give a different perspective. Now they heard from me, they're going to hear from this person, they're going to hear from that person. So they get all of these different perspectives, but I'm just glad I'm able to be a part of the equation of where they could receive information on seed to cigar.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know why that slipped because we were talking about all the different parts of the umbrella of, you know, that's why you have a lot of stuff on there. So I wanted to give that a fair shot as well, and so people can understand about that. But before we get off of here, though, is there anything else that you wanted to shout out or and let people know after you say whatever you want to say? Where all the different areas that people could follow what you do and everything.
Oh, well, blacksmokenation.com is my platform. So you go to blacksmokenation.com, you'll be able to see the umbrella that we're speaking of. But I have a final word, for everyone. Listen, thank you, first of all, Mike, for having me on this platform. I think taking time out and the consideration to have me on this great platform and all the great things you are contributing and have contributed to the cigar industry. So thank you. To the viewers that are watching, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to smoke with us and get a perspective of my optical lens on a daily. So thank you for taking that time out. And my word is do it with love. Do it with love. Protect your peace and do it with love. If you're going to do anything in the cigar culture, cigar industry, do it with love and you'll be just fine.
Absolutely, you heard from the man himself. So, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and for everybody that's gonna watch after the fact, because not everybody. Some people are busy and they tune in after the fact. But if this is your first time you're watching on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell, so you can get the notifications. If you're watching on Facebook, share this for me. Let somebody know about Herf Zone Live. It's growing every single week. Like everybody knows about Shirtless Mike at this point, so I appreciate the support. And TK, I'll let you know when we're not live anymore so we can talk that real shit.